Hello everyone, my name is Stella and thank you for joining me. Today I'm going to guide you through a very important concept in Six Sigma, the voice of the customer, or you can call it VoC. Whether you're improving a process, launching a new product, or simply trying to serve your client better, VoC helps you understand exactly what your customer expect and value. By the end of this presentation, you will have a solid understanding of what VOC is, why it is critical, how to gather it, and how real companies use it to improve outcomes. And this is the table of content for today's topic. I will first walk you through the definition of VOC, the importance of VOC in Six Sigma, the common method to capture VOC, and then the VOC tool and techniques, and then we will analyze some real life example, and lastly, there will be some summary and key takeaway. Now let's get started. So let's begin by understanding what the voice of the customer or VOC really means. At its core, VOC is about capturing what customer truly needs. Expect or refer from a product, service, or experience. This goes beyond basic satisfaction scores. It includes direct feedback like survey results and indirect input like product reviews or social media posts. VOC focuses on what truly matters to your customer. It's not just about listening, it's about translating those insights into action. In Six Sigma, that means turning feedback into measurable goals, known as critical to quality or CTQ requirements. On the left side of the slide, you will see a customer feedback loop. This represents the ongoing nature of VOC. So we first gather feedback, and then we analyze and prioritize it. Then we decide to take action, and the last step will be to follow up with the customer to ensure the solution works. This cycle never ends. It's a continuous improvement driven by the customer voice. Now let's talk about why VOC is such an essential part of Six Sigma, especially during the DeFi phase. First, VOC ensures we are solving the right problems, not just the most obvious ones, but the ones that are easiest to fix. Secondly, it helps align our business improvement with actual customer values, so the changes we make are meaningful and impactful. One of the biggest benefits is how VOC helps define CTQ elements, measurable standards that reflect what customers truly care about, like response time, durability, or the ease of use. And finally, by focusing on what adds value from the customer points of view, we reduce waste. We're not investing time and money into features or processes that don't improve the experience, right? Again, you will see the customer feedback loop here. It's not just a theory, it's a repeatable structure that allows team to collect, prioritize, and act on insights systematically. This loop keeps the customer at the heart of every improvement. There are several ways to capture VOC, and combining multiple sources give us a clearer and more reliable picture. So I'll just explain some of the main methods that you can see in this chart. So first we will talk about surveys or online survey you can see here. The most survey is the most direct way to ask customer how satisfied they are. So these can be structured with rating scales or open-ended question. Next are interviews. So on the left side of online survey, interviews and focus groups. These allow for deeper conversation where customer can explain points or desire in their own words. Observation is also often underrated. Watching how customers use a product or service can reveal hidden friction points, like sometimes they struggle with packaging or ignore features. Social media and online reviews are great for unsolicited feedback. People tend to be brutally honest there, and especially when frustrated. And lastly, don't ignore complaint logs and support tickets. They are full of recurring problems that matter to customer. So the key is to listen actively and continuously, not just once. Now let's look at the first technique for organizing VOC data, the affinity diagram. So once you collect the feedback from the customer, from survey, interview, reviews, or whatever it is, you will often have dozens of even hundreds of raw comments. So these can be overwhelming on their own. The affinity diagram helps by grouping similar ideas into themes. On the right side, you can see a sample diagram from a ride sharing service where comments were sorted into clusters like driver features, driver rewards, and passenger features. For example, feedbacks like, I want safer drivers and there should be a background check process may both fall under the theme of safety. This method gives us clarity to what customers are really saying in bulk, helping teams prioritize which area to address first. It's often done in brainstorming session using sticky notes or digital tools, and it's a great way to engage multiple stakeholders in interpreting customer feedback together. And next, another method will be CTQ Tree. So after identifying theme from the affinity diagram, we still need to translate back customer language into measurable requirements. So that what the CTQ tree help us do. On the right side, you will see a clear comparisons between the voice of customer, which is often general and hard to measure, and then the CTQ, which is specific and quantifiable. For instance, a customer might say they want a cell phone with a large screen or a phone with a good camera. Those are VoC statements. And a CTQ tree helps us break that down. So large screen might translate into 6.2 inches or larger. And a good camera could become a dual lens or 12 MP rear camera. CTQ trees are essential because they are bridge the gap between what customers says and what we can actually build, measure, and improve. This ensures we're not just listening but making data-driven design and process decision that meets their expectations. And now let's look at some real world example. We first start with Starbucks. So Starbucks collects VOC through their mobile app reviews, in-store survey, and social listening on platforms like Twitter. They noticed a consistent request for non-dairy options, especially from people with allergies or those following plant-based diets. Based on this feedback, they introduced almond milk, oat milk, and other options across store worldwide. This not only improved customer satisfaction but also opened up new market segment. What's important here is that the chain wasn't based on internal brainstorming, it came directly from the voice of customer. And next is Amazon, a company obsessed with customer feedback. They collect VOC through star rating, detailed product reviews, and post purchase emails. They also track delivery complaints and return reasons. One recurring issue was shipping delay. Customer frequently voiced frustration about unreliable delivery times. In response, Amazon introduced Amazon Prime with guaranteed 2 days delivery. That one feature built entirely around a VOC insight become a game-changing value proposition and a huge competitive advantage. And then the last one, the hospitality example. A major hotel chain noticed a lot of feedback about the long waiting time at check-in, especially during peak hours. So they gathered VOC through online reviews, in-person surveys, and front desk complaints. As a result, they implemented mobile check-in and self-serve kiosks in the lobby. So this reduced wait time dramatically and improved guest satisfaction scores. But it also cut down front desk workload and improved staff efficiency. This example shows that VOC doesn't just benefit the customer, it can also drive operational improvements. And so let's summary what we have learned. So the voice of customer is a structured way to listen, understand, and act on customer input. It plays a critical role in the define phase of Six Sigma, helping define CTQs and ensuring improvements align with customer needs. It is more than just surveys, it's about interpreting and prioritizing the real voice behind the feedback. Real companies like Starbucks, Amazon, and leading hotel brands use VoC to improve product, services, and operations. Every comment, complaint, or review is an opportunity to improve if we're listening. And that's bring us to the end of the presentation. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this training gave you a practical understanding of how voice of the customer works and how you can apply it into your own process improvement projects. Thank you. Bye.